The first year the map came out, one cheesemaker said to me that their sales went up 25%. Another cheesemaker told me that they would be out of business if the map didn't exist. Hi, I'm Vivian Strauss, and I grew up on a dairy farm, and I helped build Strauss Family Creamery, which is an organic dairy processing plant. And then I got a job at Cowgirl Creamery, which is an artisan cheesemaker. And then somebody asked me to do a nonprofit project to help agriculture, and I thought about making a cheese map. Never been done. And so now I promote cheesemakers through a website called cheesetrail.org, and a map and an app, and that's what I do. I was on the board of directors, or I am on the board of directors of the Marin Economic Forum, which is an economic commission for Marin County. And I needed an agricultural project. I work at Cowgirl Creamery. I happened to be talking to one of the owners, Sue Conley, and I said, I'm looking for a project. What do we need out here? And she said, we need a cheese map. And I went, I can do that. So I brought all the cheesemakers together for a meeting at my house, and everyone showed up, and more people showed up, and it was crowded, and everyone had these ideas, and it just took off from there. I said, I'm doing it. I think I decided in December, and by March we had our first map in time for the Artisan Cheese Festival. And each year I've changed it. We've already on our 5th printing right now, and they've really put cheesemakers in the North Bay on the map. I started out with just the Sonoma and Marin Cheese Trail map, which is this, and then I expanded it to all of California cheesemakers. So now I've opened it up to all cheesemakers, and then I added an app so that people can in real time see events that are coming up and ways to get on tours. I have a Facebook page, and I announce when there are cheesemaking classes, when there are tours of farms, you know, things about new cheeses, anything I can think of that is cheese related and California related, I add it. I made the map, I used actually somebody from the UC Ag Extension decided to work with me, a woman called Ellie Rilla. So together we decided what content needed to be on the map, and then at the meeting with the cheesemakers, I asked them to tell me what they wanted on the map. So I said, tell me what you want, what information do you want? I thought about me as a consumer, what would I like to see on there, what kinds of information, so there's fast facts, and I really thought about myself as a consumer, what I wanted to know. And from there, we hired a copy editor, which we found somebody who had worked at an agricultural land trust who knew a lot about the history of the area and agriculture, and had her write the copy. I sent forms to each one of the cheesemakers with all the information I needed, and we went through revisions. We had a committee, so I would pass it by the cheesemakers. What do you like, not like, anything you want to change? And I got bids from different printers, and I decided, and then of course I had to raise money. That was the hardest thing, and I thought it was going to be the hardest thing, but I actually sent out emails, and by the time I sent out my 3rd email, the first one had said yes, and then it catapulted till every single person I emailed said, yes, I want to give you money. Anyone related to agriculture, so I went to agricultural land trusts, I went to any nonprofit that had to do with agriculture, I went to food-related places, I went to tourism organizations, and eventually, actually, I went to Whole Foods, our regional Whole Foods, who has committed to funding it each year, and the Marin County Visitor and Convention Bureau, which also is funding it each year. So they both give me a chunk of cash, and with that I print, and I now am able to upgrade the website with more information and better ways for people to find out what to do having to do with cheese. It wasn't hard to get funding from Whole Foods or from the nonprofits that I approached. They really, they wanted to support it. It's a community effort, and they were so incredibly open. And I think the fact that I have no agenda other than to support agriculture and the small cheesemakers made a big difference. I don't make any money from this. I do this purely out of the love of doing it, and my hope is that everybody else profits from this. And for me, my greatest joy would be keeping all the farms here alive. So Every penny that I make goes into a special fund that is restricted just for this project, and I take no money, like I said, no income, and I just think of ways that the money I bring in can further the project. This is totally my love and joy on the side. I'm doing this as the board member of the Marin Economic Forum. I'm doing this as an agricultural representative. I'm doing this because I love it. I'm doing it because I love farms. The great thing about California farms is we have incredible weather out here. We have great soil. We don't have these cold winters, so people can farm year-round. We don't have the seasonal need to bring the cows inside during the winter, which a lot of farms do. California has a mix of large farms and small farms, and the great thing about the California small farms is they're different, they're special, and they have and that's where these small cheesemakers are coming from, because they're able to access the milk from these small farms. And about 70% of the small cheesemakers in California are farmers themselves. The first year the map came out, one cheesemaker, the Marin French Cheese Company, which is in Marin County, and the oldest cheesemaker in the United States, said to me that their sales went up 25% after the map came out. And that's in the first few months. So it's made a huge difference. Another cheesemaker told me that they would be out of business if the map didn't exist. I absolutely believe in this. And I've had several other organizations contacting me from around the country, asking me what I did and how they did it. So this could be replicated anywhere. You can do it in any region of the country. I think anybody should try and do this. It's a great way to market your farms or your projects or whatever you're doing. I recently was hired to do a project with farmers in different regions of California to help them build their maps. And so they're doing the same thing. They're not all cheesemakers, but you can do this with any type of agriculture. Social media is so important. I noticed that I have a Facebook page and I tweet as well. I do more of the Facebooking, but it has made a huge difference. I noticed that people will get, they'll sell tickets for their events, they'll sell tickets for their cheesemaking classes. People are asking about their cheese when I post a picture of it, so it does make a huge difference to let people know where to find stuff. So I absolutely say go for it. So having a website's really great because people always want to see what they're going to go see. They want to know beforehand, and it also connects people to the people who run the farm, to what their operation is. The more information you can give people, the more they feel connected to you, and the more connected they are, the more they want to buy your products. So the more that you can connect on a Facebook page or on your website, a company website, about what your place looks like, what the cheese making looks like, some of the processes, what the curd looks like, it connects people to what the product is, and it makes them more excited about it, and it makes them want to buy your product. People want to know who you are. Tell your story. Definitely go to see cheesetrail.org and find out how you can get on a farm and what kind of cheese-making classes, tours, and events are coming up that you can go visit yourself. There are so many incredible places you can go. You can go see a buffalo milk farm and eat buffalo milk mozzarella. It's very rare. There's a sheep cheese making place that shows you the sheep. You get to pet the sheep and you get to see how the cheese is made. It's very technical. At the same time, you get to see the sheep. Those are two of my favorites. There's also in Point Reyes, you can go to a class that actually shows you how curd is made, and you get the history of dairy in the region, and you get a taste of all the cheeses. There are a lot of fun things you can do by going to cheesetrail.org or picking up the Sonoma Marin Cheese Trail map, also available on cheesetrail.org. Best thing to do, download the free app. You can get the link at cheesetrail.org, and you can find out about up-to-date, up-to-the-minute events that are happening having to do with cheese wherever you want to go. If you're a licensed cheesemaker, just reach out to me, email me, and I will get you into the system.
So one day, just out of sheer frustration, I looked on Craigslist and I found a posting for a cheese shop. And it was a cheesemonger position. I just thought, whatever, I'm just gonna do it. I don't have anything else going on. So I applied and I got it.